How do you calculate normal stress on a material? Imagine you're pushing or pulling on a metal rod and want to know how much stress is happening inside. That's where calculating normal stress comes into play. It helps us understand how forces affect materials and if they might break or deform. Normal stress is found by taking the force applied directly perpendicular to a surface and dividing it by the area over which that force acts. Think of it like pressing on a door with your hand. The force from your hand is spread over the area of your palm. The formula for normal stress is simple. Divide the force by the cross-sectional area. The force you use can be pulling, called tensile stress, or pushing, called compressive stress. For example, if you have a metal bar being pulled from both ends, the force pulling on it is the tensile force. If you push on it, that's compressive force. To find the normal stress, you measure the force in newtons and the cross-sectional area in square millimeters or square inches. Let's say you have a steel rod with a cross-sectional area of 10 square millimeters. If you apply a force of 100 newtons along its length, the normal stress is 100 divided by 10, which equals 10 newtons per square millimeter. This tells you how much stress the material is experiencing in that area. In more complex situations, forces might not be perfectly perpendicular. If the force acts at an angle, you need to consider the angle to find the true normal stress. You can do this by multiplying the force by the cosine of the angle between the force and the surface. For example, if the force acts at a 45-degree angle, the normal component of the force is the total force times the cosine of 45 degrees. The area used in the calculation is the cross-sectional area perpendicular to the force. If the force acts at an angle, the area might change because the surface appears larger or smaller depending on the angle. You can find the new area by dividing the original area by the cosine of the angle. Normal stress reaches its highest value when the force is directly perpendicular to the surface, meaning the angle is 0 degrees. When the force is at an angle, shear stresses also develop, which can cause different types of failure. Knowing how to calculate normal stress is essential for engineers and designers. It helps them decide if a material can handle the load without breaking. It also helps in designing safer structures and products by ensuring the stress stays within safe limits. In summary, to calculate normal stress, you need to know the force acting perpendicular to the surface and the cross-sectional area. Divide the force by the area, and if forces are at angles, use trigonometry to find the true normal component. This simple calculation is a key step in understanding how materials respond under load and preventing failures.